I'm sitting here at work recording this intro to this podcast. When it comes time to record a podcast, we do that at night. But when it comes time to edit the podcast, it's in the morning. And I'm sitting in my little suite back here. I have a mic and a cup of coffee, and I'm making magic happen. And sometimes I have to record the intro alone by myself really early in the morning, and I have a great time doing it regardless. Kids, you got one more week to sign up for this Star Wars thing. Who wants to see Star Wars a day early? And see it a day early with the raddest cats on the planet. December 17th, 10 p.m. We're watching Star Wars The Force Awakens the day before it comes out, and all you have to do to win a ticket is write a ridiculous review of the Villain District podcast on iTunes and let us know you did it. And if we like it, you win a pair of tickets. Bring a friend to see Star Wars The Force Awakens. So, that being said, you have until the end of the month to complete that. Next, we are taking the Villain District podcast on the road next week. And when I say on the road, I mean we're going to South Central Kentucky, where I was born and raised. Will be there, and I will be there. But we're doing a podcast interviewing all the people in my house on Thanksgiving Day. So, should be a good one. Today we have Mr. Eric Gravley, however you say it, on the podcast. He's a talented young man. He's a graphic designer and a podcaster. Sit back, relax, enjoy an hour full of fun-packed interview with Mr. Eric Gravley.
You are now a loyal follower of the Villain District podcast.
Hey, what's your favorite Spice Girls song? Go.
Probably
That is tough.
Cumin.
Nice.
I think that would be
Nice.
I like it.
I have to go with, oh, jeez.
Dude, honestly, you having this much trouble?
Yeah,
It's If You Want to Be My Lover.
no, it's not. It's not. It's definitely not that. It's, I have a real answer to this question.
Oh,
My real answer is, I think this is a different song. You can tell I'm a fan. Spice Up Your Life?
Yeah, that's a different song.
That's a different song.
That one's called Spice Up Your Life.
Okay.
I'm not
That's
familiar
it.
with that one.
That's it. I know it from the movie. I watched the movie a few times.
I did not.
The Spice Girls movie.
We were getting ready to record, and Will was talking to Eric, and he said, so just tell us what you want.
Oh, I see.
And I was like, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
and
it just went from there.
Did.
It was actually called "If You Want to Be My Lover."
I don't know. Wannabe.
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 It was called Wannabe. See,
Right.
how old are you? About how old a boy are you?
I'm about 25.
25. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So you're not too terribly young. I'm
No.
29. Will is 29.
Also,
Okay.
an older 29.
Yeah.
I remember
yeah.
Spice Girls were big when I was in first grade. That was like, I remember that was there was an explosion of Spice Girls, and then they seemed to disappear after that.
So if you were in first grade, that means I was probably in we were in fifth grade or so.
Something like that.
So that would make sense as
4
to
years
why
apart.
we were watching the Spice Girls movie, and
Right.
we're
Yeah.
like, this is awesome.
Oh, I make no apologies. I'd watch that again today.
Yeah.
If I wanted to.
Think it would hold up?
No.
Well,
But I don't know that it held up back then, though, to be fair.
Elton. Remember when they
Kind of do remember that.
Elton John was in it?
I kinda do.
They called him Elton.
Right.
Have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh, dude,
Oh, you should
what
see it. You should.
What you waiting for?
I mean, I feel like now I've seen all the Spice Girls in their post-Spice Girls life, so it
yeah.
would ruin the illusion.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure,
right. That is
sure.
true. That was prime of all their lives.
Prime.
Yeah.
If I can speak to their lives.
Now they're marrying soccer stars
Yeah.
and hosting
Can
competitions.
we just talk about David Beckham for a second?
We can.
He's-
We can talk about him for an hour if you want to.
Dude,
That's
he's
not true.
cut. He is
He's
a cut
cut.
man.
Ripped like Jesus.
He is ridiculously handsome.
That's true.
Like, his face and his hair are everything that I wish that I was, and I'll never live up to it, and that's just what I have to deal with.
I think of myself as a totally straight man, but I get it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Totally.
I mean, handsome dude.
All sexuality is a spectrum, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Spectrum. So you're saying it's science?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
I like that.
That's what I'm telling you.
Let's talk about your students.
Let's not do that. No, I don't have students. I don't know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about my students.
Let's talk about yours. No, I don't like that. I can see where this is going.
You're a teacher?
Yeah, I teach.
In addition to all this?
Yeah,
I
he teaches.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I didn't mean to trick you there. I was just going to talk about Will's students.
I will say,
he doesn't have students.
I hope
he does.
I hope none of them are listening to this. But I do freak out occasionally, like if they have a laptop out, which they're not supposed to. But if they have a laptop out,
you don't let them have laptops.
Take notes.
So you're old school.
This is on the record, so
Mr. Pencil Paper.
This is on the record, so no, they're not allowed to have laptops. But really, I don't do anything about it. Like I say, day one, don't do it, and then if they do it, I'm busy, so I don't really. You know what I mean? I'm doing my stuff. I don't really care that much. But
you're just not going to do that.
But if they're on a laptop and this happened earlier this semester, and they snicker and they look at me. I'm always like, oh, God, they found the podcast. No, tell me they didn't find it. So
listen to you being
I hope they didn't.
Total turd you are.
Because I try to be professional, and that's all gone away if they hear this. So
gone away.
Talking about my favorite Spice Girls song.
Yeah.
So,
They'd be like, psh.
So
that's right.
Eric, I've heard your last name pronounced several ways.
Yeah.
Why don't let's set the record
I think I know.
straight.
I think I know, but I might be wrong.
Well, I would love to hear.
I thought I knew until he said that, and now I'm like, do I not know Eric's last name? Gravley.
Yep, that's correct.
Av. So it's an A. Like
Yeah. Av.
It's like the Avett brothers. Some people call them Avets. Some people call them Avets.
I guess that's true. That's actually a good point.
Avett brothers.
But yeah, most people when they meet me, they either say Gravely or Grovely.
Oh,
really?
I'm like, what part of you don't say gravity, so I don't understand.
You might if you're British, though.
Maybe
That's right.
But
you did say earlier that you had some European listeners on your podcast.
Right. Yeah.
Blowing up in Europe.
It's mostly them calling in and saying, what is it? Gravely.
Gravely.
Or,
Eric Gravley.
It's mostly David Beckham saying that.
Yeah, David and I are pretty tight.
He's
Right.
allowed to say what he
He can say
that.
whatever he wants.
He gets away with it.
I went to get a haircut a year ago, and
It looks surprisingly short,
Thank you.
It's held up.
considering.
I did miss my appointment because I don't want to get. Why would I want to get into that on the podcast?
I'm really not sure where
I'm
you're going.
sorry, but I did take a picture of David Beckham in once to get a haircut, and they didn't do anything like it.
As the model,
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
you just take a picture of his torso.
Here's the thing.
I'd like this,
Make
please.
me like this.
Don't even have his head.
When I get ready in the morning, usually when I wake up, my hair's just sticking out in all directions. I stick my head in the sink, run the faucet over it, comb it, and let it dry.
Yeah.
And that's just my daily ritual, my routine. David Beckham, dude's got a stylist on hand at all times. You ever seen his hair? That's a process that I'm not willing to spend that much time.
I mean, I imagine it's like in movies when the main hero's hair is always perfect, even though he's getting blown about and running around and stuff.
Yeah.
And David Beckham is, I don't know, jumping over dudes or whatever you do in soccer. I'm sorry, football. And but his hair,
Football.
I imagine there's a secret. There's a showbiz secret somewhere.
Some people are just born with stuff that other people will never experience, though.
It's true. That is true.
Like
You
a
know what I
personal
mean?
stylist on hand.
Well, maybe I'm sure he's got a stylist. I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
But maybe naturally his hair just does what it needs to do.
He seems like he's doing all right in terms of genes. Right? In terms
doing
of
okay.
genetics, I think
doing
he's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, he's all right.
So, yeah.
He married a
He's-
Spice Girl.
Yeah.
A primetime Spice Girl.
He did. He
Yeah,
married
it's true.
my favorite Spice Girl.
Push.
My favorite too. I
Yeah.
gotta go with you. Yep.
So,
She's pretty rad.
Yep.
my favorite growing up
I love
was always Sporty Spice.
Love where this is going.
Sporty.
I don't know what it was.
Interesting.
I
She's
just
a
thought-
redhead?
No,
No,
she's
that's
the brunette who wears like jogging pants, right?
I mean, that makes sense with her name.
That's her deal.
I think she might have been a lesbian at one point.
At one point.
Yeah,
Maybe she
I
probably
think so.
still is if she was.
That sounds right. Her and Scary, right? Were they both
maybe
gay? I thought so, but
maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. But you were thinking of Ginger Spice.
Oh, her name was actually... See, I was about to be like Ginger Spice, but that can't be it. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that was...
Nailed
definitely.
it.
That was it. Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Sporty?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I don't know.
Here's the question. Was it like... I mean, granted, we were in 5th grade. So was it like...
It was an attraction.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Like, when I get older, I'm going to think this person is hot
Right.
kind of thing.
It wasn't like...
Even though I'm not aware of the world right now.
It wasn't like she's my favorite superhero in this.
No, right.
team.
I understand. Yeah.
Not
Because I get it from that perspective. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, but...
because she can like she could carry her own in battles.
Exactly.
She could carry her own.
Yeah, exactly. If it was a fight between the Spice Girls, she's walking away and everybody else
I
is...
feel like Scary.
Scary
Okay,
would
maybe-
have
maybe Scary.
she's always kicking and screaming and
true.
gnarling her teeth.
That's something going on. She's...
Yeah.
I say she's always
angry.
as like she's
She's
like
always...
Today,
we're
she woke
literally
up and did
talking
that.
about 5th grade.
That's true. When was 5th grade? What or your 1st grade? What year was that?
For
That
me,
they were-
like
that they were big.
97?
97.
That
Okay.
sounds right.
Yeah.
I was in kindergarten in 92, so
Okay. Right.
92, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Dude, did you just nail it?
Well
to the
done.
Wall?
Well
so.
done.
I think
I
you
did.
did.
Old math major over here. Yeah, I had no idea. Yeah, Spice Girls were good. Huh.
So here's the thing. Here's what we're going to talk about.
Hit me.
We're going to talk about Mr. Gravley.
Yeah.
Mr. Gravley's hidden
Gravley.
talents that I
Oh.
knew nothing about.
Oh, interesting.
Well, you-
I logged onto the Facebooks the other day,
Oh, I'm interested.
and you're like throwing up these designs, like the BB-8 design.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I knew Brian had mentioned you're a graphic designer. I'd never seen anything you had made. And that's some good stuff.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's fun to play around with that. That's what I did for my 1.5 years of community college before I stopped.
Oh, nice. Did you go around here somewhere?
Yeah, it was a JCC.
Nice.
And then the program I was in, it was like, oh, it's not actually a degree. It's like a certificate. I was like, oh, that kind of sucks.
Mm.
And then they were like, also, most people just hire freelancers. A lot of places don't keep graphic designers on staff. I was like, oh, sweet.
That's true.
So
Sweet.
I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
And, also I had just, I just got married and I was all swamped down with that.
Yeah.
So I was just like, bounce out.
Laters.
How'd
Yeah.
you get into doing that? You just been drawing and stuff since you were little, or what?
Well, yeah, I drew a lot when I was a kid, but then like it didn't even really occur to me to do that. I went to because my mom made me go to college, and then I went to like the sign up day or whatever, and the guy that was I don't know any ringing people in for classes, whatever the terminology is.
Yeah, the ringer.
The ringer,
The ringer.
the academic ringer. He was just like, "Here's a list of what we have." Blah blah blah. And like I remember one dude was like pushing geology, and I was like, "That sounds lame."
I hate to be the guy pushing geology.
Yeah, like, there's
I got to go out there
rocks.
and I'll get these kids into rocks one way or another, man.
Here they are.
It's my deal.
But yeah, no, I forget what they call it. I think they called it like digital production artist or something. I was like, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
So just started doing that and learned
Totally.
Illustrator and all that.
And dude,
Oh,
that's
that's cool.
such a like as far as jobs that like currently have weight, that's a big deal. And I'll tell you why.
Please do.
Where did I pick that up?
I don't know,
I
but you do it a lot, though.
I do it like
I'll tell you why. You do it.
oh, I picked it up from this guy I went on tour with, and he would say something, and I'd say, what does that mean? And he'd say, I'll tell you.
You do that like the last episode. We're gonna get back to graphic designing real quick. The last episode, I said something. It was just me and Joe, and we did a short one. And I said something, and you go, "That's interesting," and I'll tell you why. And I was like, "I know it's interesting. I said it."
I've noticed
Yeah,
that you'll sometimes be like, you'll get done telling a story and then you'll say, I told you that to tell you this.
Yeah.
That's true. I have a terrible problem at just rambling down rabbit holes that aren't necessary, but in my brain it's like, well, if you want to know this thing,
Right.
you have to know this thing.
gotta
But
set it
then
up.
if you want to know this thing, you have to know this, and then this. And then, like, end of the podcast, and I'm like, I told you all that to tell you this.
Goodbye.
You got to give everybody all the information.
That's right.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
but,
right.
But let me tell you why.
So why?
Please do.
Everything now and in the future is...
That's amazing.
I'm really excited.
I didn't know he could do that.
is going digital.
Yeah.
And a company, an entity, shoot, anything.
A country, if you will.
And anything without a website is out of date.
That's true.
And
That's
any
true.
website, in order to be aesthetically pleasing, needs some kind of graphic designer.
Needs Squarespace. No, I'm just kidding. They've given us no money. Listeners, you have no cause to go use them.
I mean,
Other than the fact that it's pretty easy and
Right, it's probably
Yeah.
easy to do. But
I would imagine with all the ads I hear.
I don't know.
about
I
it.
just know Jeff Bridges made sleeping tapes and released
Yeah.
them. Do you remember that?
but here's the thing though, like you can make the layouts, but without the right images, you're still kind of screwed.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
definitely.
That's true.
Yeah.
So-
well, and if all your images are, or all your design is just inbuilt Squarespace design,
or
you know.
Instagram photos,
right? Yeah, right. Yeah. No, it's true.
because we're all photographers at heart.
Are we? Did your
with the power of the Apple iPhone.
That's right. Do your all's phones have a photo function on them?
Yeah.
Do you
That's really
remember
good.
your come standard since the year 2000?
Let me tell you how old I am.
Please, you're just 29.
29.
I got my first computer when I went to college the first time. I didn't have a personal computer before that.
Well, what year was this?
That was 2004.
4.
Gotcha. I was going to say, I didn't get... we had like a really crappy desktop computer, like an IBM piece of garbage, but we didn't get internet until 06?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, and then like, it was just like, oh my, there's like, we had like the dial-up crap or whatever, but
Yeah.
we didn't get high-speed internet until like
Yeah.
well after it was available. Yeah. all
Yeah.
that, which is, gosh.
Gosh, you remember DSL? Remember the switch? Did you guys make the switch to DSL from dial-up?
You know what?
No, so like,
we never did. We
Yeah?
live too far out.
Oh, that's
Like my
true.
parents are still on like some sort of like satellite.
oh yeah.
Interesting.
It's fine. Like you can watch YouTube videos, but you have to hit play, then pause for like
Ooh.
a minute, and then
Yeah.
you
I'll let
play
it buffer and
Yeah.
yeah, no, we had dial-up forever, and then I remember people getting DSL, and they're like, "You can talk on the phone and be online."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, that's cool."
That's crazy.
But
Yeah.
we didn't get like
The phone.
Yeah, we didn't upgrade the internet until broadband was already well established.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
Yeah, I remember that. I bought. I may have mentioned this on the podcast before, but I haven't told you, Eric. So I bought. I had a PlayStation 2, and I bought the box that you put
yeah.
in the back of it that you could plug your DSL into and play online. And I bought it like the week before it was out of date. I saved up and I bought it, and then I played Star Wars Battlefront 2, and nobody played.
Yeah.
like
There was no one there.
2 weeks later, a desert town. It was
dude.
yeah,
But it's crazy. It's insane the amount of ground we've covered as far as like what's available and like what I can do with the small device. I'm sitting on it. I'm sitting on
Right.
the machine that I can really do or make anything with. We could do a
Yeah.
podcast right now
we could.
on that machine if
That's
we
true.
wanted to.
And you would probably feel like incomplete if you had left it at home.
That's scary. That's the scary
weird
part.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, if you like just leave your phone at your home and go somewhere,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Never mind the
That's-
fact that we all used to do that all the time.
All the time.
All
We were-
the time.
We were just like, what if something happens out in the world? I don't know. You're out there. Well,
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Walk somewhere. I don't know.
My first cell phone I got when I was like probably 16.
Okay.
And it was like one of those green faceplate Nokia phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember getting my first text message from a friend of mine. He was on his way over, to my house, he sent me a text that said, "I'm coming over." And I flipped out. I was like, "How are you doing this?" Like, I ran downstairs and like, Dad, look at this. I said, see that image? See those words? He just sent me that from his cell phone. I remember the feeling, and
That's funny.
I ran into my our kitchen, my parents' house, and I tried to send a text from the house phone.
From the house phone?
Is this just a thing?
Oh my God,
that
that's-
happens now.
That's
do this
awesome.
now.
Didn't work.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It didn't
Sure.
work.
That's
Ended
awesome.
up calling China.
That's right.
And now I'm like, yeah, you could do it. I could do anything on it.
Right. Yeah.
If
You could live stream video right now
It's true.
to anybody.
And if you don't have, it's true. If you don't have your phone on you, there's this weird, like, it's almost like a disconnected feeling you have.
It's like you
And
lost
I hate that. That sucks
Yeah.
to have that.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's like part of there's this school of thought, and I don't know too much about it, but a lot of my coworkers know about it, called post-humanism. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but it's this notion of that essentially we're blending with digital technology, right?
Is
if
it
I
like,
understand it well.
The whole one day there'll be a singularity thing, and we
It may
upload
overlap
our consciousness or whatever.
Yeah, it may overlap with that a little bit, but it's the notion that, I mean, for all intents and purposes, why would you stop the boundaries of me at my body? Why would you not stop it with my cell phone too? Because to function, I need it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
from our perspective, and I mean, maybe that's a bit much, but
Yeah. Why are you being weird?
I don't know, man. I didn't do it.
You
I
an
didn't do it.
Illustrator or Photoshop guy?
I like Illustrator. Photoshop, I've gotten rusty on. I used to be
Gotcha.
pretty good at Photoshop, but
I was going to say, whenever people use Illustrator, like when I saw the work you did, it looked like Illustrator to me because of those really clean lines
Yeah.
and like vector kind of styles. And I never could figure out how to do Illustrator at all. Like,
it's more just like Adobe's fault for making it so unuser friendly because like it's not incredibly difficult. It's just a matter of learning what the buttons do,
yeah.
and then from there you can manipulate it and kind of make it what you want. But yeah, those things are just like, that's why I feel like, I mean, to an extent, almost everybody can do it now. Like you see people on Tumblr or whatever post, I made whatever the hell character from Star Wars or whatever. So it's like, I feel like it's one of those skills that will eventually be obsolete. Not obsolete, but like everyone will do it
Yeah,
Right.
because
it'd just be like typing or something.
yeah,
Just
like it is just a matter of
Well, yeah, I
learning
mean-
what the buttons do.
Yeah,
Sure.
I mean that. Here's the thing, though. I'm going to give you a little. I'm going to give you a little word of encouragement. Okay?
Okay.
I feel the same way when it comes to audio engineering, because when I'm in here, even making a song or especially like recording a voiceover, like it's super easy. Like you get your software up, you arm your tracks, you pick your interface, you get the level, and you hit record, and then that's pretty much what you do, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a MacBook, you can do all those things.
Right.
You have GarageBand, you can record those things. You hear that siren?
I do hear a
I think
siren.
you can hear it.
Will, are you underage?
Am I
You're the only one
they're-
drinking.
They're on their way.
But
Yep.
that still doesn't mean that if something comes easy to you,
Yeah.
you're going to feel like that's not worth as much as it actually
That's
is.
true.
Like-
That's true.
For me,
That's
like
true.
composition and like notes working together comes really easy to me. And if I'm working on a track, I'm like, that's super simple. Why anyone could do
Right.
this? I'm not special.
Sure.
But then someone comes in and listens to something like, sure, they can hit the buttons and stuff, but
Yeah.
they can't necessarily put all those things together to make the thing that I made.
Yeah.
That's true. I guess it does take, your own personal whatever style or influences or whatever that make it the way it is.
Oh
Totally.
yeah.
But then, like as far as simplicity goes, like if you look at like Hulu's logo, right? It's just a green screen with Hulu written out.
Right.
Some
Yeah.
dude got paid a shitload of money
Yeah.
to make that.
That's
It was
true.
like it's so I don't know. It's
Dude, that's so true.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck involved,
And-
I would
yeah.
imagine, and things like that.
And there's
I mean, think about the Nike check, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah.
That's crazy, and it's crazy good design too.
Yeah. People see it and they're like, oh, no, Nike. Sweet.
All that stuff, man. Golden Arches, all that branding stuff.
I've got a few friends that do design work. One of them recently moved to Seattle and works for Starbucks now.
Oh.
So I like
the cups are his fault.
I like to think
cups.
that he was in charge of the cups. But there is something to graphic design and graphic designers that like my girlfriend's a graphic designer. She hasn't done it in quite a while, but she went to school for art for several years before she ended up switching to like biology and chemistry and that kind of stuff.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was a big switch. But there's something that I've actually gained from working with her and watching her work and having her walk me through stuff. Mm-hmm. There's just something that certain people have in their eye, I guess, that like when you see something on the page, it has to flow and fit a certain way.
Yeah, that's
you know
true.
what I mean? And some people just don't get that. Like, whether it's like a text, like if you have a text and you want to make it a certain size, I used to just make it the size I wanted, but then you're like squishing and like the text like starts to like misform, I guess. And if you don't have the eye for it, you don't even think that, you're hurting that thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
So,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, there is like, I don't think I have that. Like the eye thing, like my girlfriend was an art major and she did like painting and printmaking. And so she'll always talk about these pieces of art and she'll talk about, look how the artist is moving your eye from here to here to here. Like they're leading your eye in this particular way.
You just don't
and
see
I'm
it.
like, are they? Like, is that how I looked at it? Like, I don't know. I'm not.
Well, I
like
will
with
say-
just visual art, I'm like, I don't know.
I will say that there are times where you make
Where
you make banners and stuff for the
I'm sure.
podcast.
Yeah.
And like you'll have
Point them out, man.
Yeah.
Call it out right now.
like there like for example that one you made where there was just like random white lines like
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
like
yeah.
So yeah, he does.
I don't know.
He has a
know.
little trouble.
Long story short, I don't do that. But at the same time, though, one thing I wanted to say was in talking about all this, whether you're talking about the stuff you do with design or the stuff Joe does with audio engineering or whatever it is, right? Even like working like what I do with like a particular discipline where you know a lot about one field and then you teach it. Like there is some of like natural inclination for things, but then at the same time, I think also those skills are good because the person who comes in and listens to something that you wrote or the person who looks at something that Eric that you designed, like it's not necessarily that they couldn't do it. Right,
It's that they didn't.
It's
do
that
it.
they didn't do it, and that it's not really worth their time to put in the time it would take to be able to do it as well as you're going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's almost a division of labor question.
And there are times when like I'll see something that was made right and like a big corporate logo or maybe like just something, you know, like one of the artists that goes to the Comic-Cons will do, and I'll be like, oh, I totally know how he did that. Never would have occurred to me to, you know, do that to convey that pop culture message, but yeah.
Well, it's like the what's his face, big pop art guy,
Warhol.
Yeah, Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, "Oh, I could have done that." Sure, you could have done it, but he did it because
Sure,
something sparked in him, and he had a certain vision for that thing. And it's a simple. A lot of those designs are very simple, but there's something about them that we're just very attracted to. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like it's the same thing with like, you know, in music, a major chord and a minor chord. Why do they make us feel that way? Like there's just something inherent about those things.
Yeah.
That
makes you feel happy or
right,
not so happy.
So what was the work that you had done that, because I haven't seen what he's referencing. So you did a design of a
so like just for funsies, I do like dumb little characters that are all cartoony and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did like a BB-8 from Star Wars, little droid.
The ball droid.
Yeah.
But, it's cartoony, but like just like the little bits of detail you put in there, like you spent some time on it. It looks like, I don't know, like
probably about 3 hours or so.
Yeah,
nice.
It looks. I was like, I at first I thought it was just something you were sharing.
Oh well, thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it looks
Cool.
great.
You should throw a link in the description of this episode.
To my
Check
personal
out
Facebook page.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
Check out.
That's true.
Yeah,
We could just make it one of the
Check
pictures.
out Eric's life.
Promo pictures for the episode.
Yeah. Well, he's done a few. He did a South Park one and a few that I didn't know the reference, but they were still good. Like
Did BMO from Adventure Time.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
cool.
something I've yet to watch. I need to.
Adventure Time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I've watched a little bit of it. Not
It's
a ton.
really weird.
Yeah. Isn't it like a post-nuclear... it's
Yeah.
like a... Yeah.
So like I've only really seen
Post-apocalyptic.
what Mitch has played at the store.
Yeah.
But it's from what I gather, there was a big war.
Yeah.
And then the land of, I think it's called Oo or whatever, is what has developed in the course of time after that war.
Yeah.
Which is why people are all, there's candy people and I don't know, like a weird little elephant named Tree Trunks that likes pie and like it's weird.
It's a weird show, yeah.
It sounds pretty weird.
There is
Sounds
some
pretty
funny
weird.
stuff to it too. So I'm a regular show fan myself. If I had to pick
Regular
one of those.
shows. Yeah, I've heard of that, but I know even less about that than Adventure Time.
It's
I
pretty
think.
rad.
Is it it's an animated show, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just all the main characters are not humans. So like there's a gumball machine and a mockingjay. Wow, a blue jay.
You've been indoctrinated.
That's
I
right.
have, and I haven't.
That's right.
I've only ever seen the first one of those movies. And then
I think they get better.
do they?
Oh, yeah, I
they get
agree.
better.
I think they
Yeah.
do get better as well.
Hmm.
But
But yeah, and then all the other characters, like, so basically they're the only ones that aren't human, and everything around them are human beings, and no one ever addresses the fact that that's a gumball machine.
Yeah.
At one point, like, someone turns the knob on the gumball machine and takes a piece of gum out of him and eats it, and everyone, like, freaks out. They're like, oh no! Just kind of a weird,
Why would you do that?
yeah.
nice.
That's pretty funny. Speaking of gumball machines, have you guys heard the news about Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, right?
That is very
Uh,
cool.
Jonah Ray.
Yeah, hosting
Yeah.
it. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
be totally
right.
down for that.
But the guy that's involved in bringing it back is the original host, right?
The original host.
There were two
Joel.
hosts, yeah. Joel was original, and then Mike. Is that right? Was it Mike?
Mike was probably the
Mike was
the
later.
era that I watched.
Yes,
as
I think I
when was
watched
growing
more.
up.
I watched more Mike than Joel, but Joel is the one who's involved now in bringing it back, right?
Yeah, I
Is
believe
that
so.
correct? Okay.
So it needs to be some just new kind of
yeah. Oh, Jonah
up and
Ray's
coming.
that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
because he's
Jonah-
full of all
that's-
like the weird like references and
That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
Mhm.
and his sense of humor is like just a little off.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
from the normal, well, quote unquote normal, but yeah, I think that'll be really good.
That'll be cool. I heard they reached their like first. So for those who don't know, the MST through K people were doing a Kickstarter to fund new episodes of Mystery Science Theater,
Right.
and they reached their first goal of however much they were trying to 2 million or something like that.
that's crazy.
I had heard that they were gonna, if they reached the first amount, they were gonna make however many episodes, but then if they reached the next amount, they were gonna make like a full season.
Oh,
So
nice.
like it was either they were gonna make like 5 episodes or they were gonna make like 15 or something.
Sure.
Like that. And I don't know which goal they reached, but there are gonna be new episodes. Is what I
Didn't
heard.
they do like didn't they sell for a while little tracks that you could put under movies? Mm-hmm. Like that? I
Oh,
thought that-
really?
Like
Yeah,
little
they were
podcasts
They
or
were-
something.
It was after MST3K went off the air. They sold these things called riff tracks.
Yeah, I
Track,
watched. They did like a Riff Tracks live for Sharknado, which is how
Oh,
I ended up seeing Sharknado.
Nice.
If
And
you're
that was
gonna watch,
really funny.
if you're gonna watch Sharknado, that's the way to watch it.
That's awesome. Yeah, but you could just they didn't get the rights to the movies. And so what they would do is you could download MP3s and then you had to have the movie.
Sure.
And then play the movie and then play the
That's
MP3
pretty
at
cool.
the same time and it would overlap.
So-
and they did like The Dark Knight, which I
Yeah.
thought was like a ballsy move. Like that's such a good movie
Right.
that would be hard to but
you could find
they did
some stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure. But they did The Happening, the M Night Shyamalan. Yeah.
Dude, what
So-
a weird tone in a movie. Have you watched that recently?
What, The Happening?
Yeah.
No.
Watch
No.
it again.
Have you seen that, Eric?
No, I remember I saw the previews and I was like, oh, maybe Shyamalan's gonna make a good movie again.
Yeah.
And then I heard it was about plants getting mad at people.
Yep.
And I was
It's
like,
weird.
Nope,
Dude, like
Yeah.
I almost feel like I don't think it is, but like Marky Mark
yeah.
and
In this movie, he deserves that title.
yeah, exactly. And Zooey Deschanel, both of them are fine actors.
Right,
You know,
yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah.
act.
Absolutely.
They can do what they're
Yeah.
supposed to do. But in this movie, like they're both well established already,
Yeah.
and there's just something off. It feels like they're fully aware of the fact that they're in like some weird B sci-fi movie.
Interesting.
but I don't know if that's intentional or not. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But later on, Shyamalan came out and said, this is our version of a B horror movie. And I'm like, yeah, you can't say that.
Yeah,
you have to say
it wasn't good. So.
I feel like, that's kind of a cop-out.
Yeah, you have to say that first.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You need to say that 3 months before it comes out, and then I'll watch it with different eyes.
I've yet to see The Visit yet. Have you seen it?
No, I wanted to, but my girlfriend was like, no, I don't want to go see. That's the grandma and grandpa one, right? She's like, I don't want to go see Scary Grandma.
Well, it's supposed to be a dark comedy. Like that people are saying that it's a mix between funny and creepy, and like that it's such an odd tone that it works as it feels very intentional for what it is. Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of the critics liked it actually. I think some of them didn't, but
the last Shyamalan movie I saw was Lady in the Water.
Yeah,
and I was not into it.
Yeah. I wanted to like that so bad. I remember being like, I want to like this. And
I remember wanting to
like. I came out with I would have given it like a 65 or 70%.
Yeah, I haven't watched that movie since it was in theater, so it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But I've listened to the score numerous times.
Oh, interesting.
It's fantastic.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Is it,
it's James Newton Howard.
Yeah.
And that score is really magical. I'll say it. It's magical.
Interesting. I need to listen to that.
Yeah.
But I love Giamatti. And, yeah, and I like now I like Bryce Dallas Howard. I didn't know at the time.
Oh yeah, she rules.
But yeah, just couldn't really get into it. A movie that he hasn't seen, I don't know if you've seen it, is Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
You never saw Unbreakable.
That is a super good movie.
Yeah, that's like right up your alley. We got to watch that.
People have been saying it's been in the pipeline that he kind of wants to make a sequel to that.
Ooh.
And Reddit's so against it. They're like, please don't, don't do it. But here's my take. Nothing that you can make will ever ruin something that came before it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Like people saying that Transformers now ruins the Transformers of their childhood.
Oh,
No, that thing is still what it was.
Yeah.
No, it's
just ignore the new things that you don't like and go watch the stuff you like.
Exactly.
Yeah. So when people when it comes to especially a lot of there's so many superhero movies in the pipeline that are being made, and a lot of people are saying, oh well, if they make this and they do it with this tone, a lot of stuff with Suicide Squad and Joker and that kind of stuff, they're gonna ruin everything. What do you mean by that? You're getting another superhero movie. You might not like this one,
right?
But that's all it is.
Yeah.
You might not like this one.
Fantastic Four was horrible, but I'm still stoked to see the other movies that are coming out.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
I guess
Dude, I'd be psyched to watch a sequel to that movie to see if they fixed it. You know what I mean?
Take us through your thoughts on Fantastic Four. Your emotional response.
It was 115 minutes of drama set in a military camp, and then the last 15 minutes they had a fight sequence.
La
that
la
was
la
kind of cool.
la
Yeah,
la la la.
And then that was it. And I was like, so that there was so much about it. I can't even. They made it gross. Somehow they made the Fantastic Four gross.
Right.
Mr. Fantastic's muscles all rippling and
yeah,
they're supposed to be fun.
I mean, I do understand people who are complaining about these movies. I understand from one perspective that if you're worried about the Batman and Robin effect, if you're worried that it's going to kill the franchise and you're going to have to wait a decade.
Dude, we're way beyond that.
I think so too.
All the movies would have to be that way.
I mean, Ledger is never going to, I mean, he's redefined the Joker, right? And
he's redefined the genre.
Right.
Well, he's played a role in that.
And we're already getting another one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're already getting another one.
We're already getting another one. I remember clearly going to see that in theaters.
Yeah.
It was not that long ago.
Right.
And now we're getting another Joker. Yeah. Whereas, between Nicholson and Ledger was, 20 years or something?
Almost. Because Batman was 89 and Dark Knight was
2008?
8?
Yeah, so 19
about.
years, yeah.
Jeez.
So, yeah, we're past that now. But yeah. So what have you been watching?
What have I been
that
watching?
You've been into? As long as we're talking movies, but I mean TV as well, whatever.
I found out that there's a streaming service called Screambox. Either of you?
I've heard of this.
It's like $4 a month.
Yeah.
And it's just like a bunch of horror movies.
Oh, I have heard of that. Yeah.
And like it's not so like they have I think like Hellraiser is maybe like the highest profile thing they have.
Okay.
So like they're not going to have like the Jason or Freddy's or anything like that. But they have like a bunch of like independent horror movies that I'd never heard of.
Huh.
And like I really like the ones where it's like a group of strangers wakes up trapped in a room. Somehow they're all connected, and then they have X amount of time to figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was one called what was it called?
Saw.
Yeah, Saw. That's what it was. And no, it's called a Breathing Room. And basically the premise is just what I said. A group of strangers wakes up and they got to figure out how to get through a series of games or whatever. But like you could tell they didn't have much of a budget because the camera quality is pretty shoddy.
Yeah.
And it was made within the past 4 years, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
And obviously it's all just in one room in a warehouse. But no, it was really rad. It was is there a name for that type of genre? Like, I mean, because not that it's its own
like a
genre,
subgenre,
but like, subgenre. Is there a name for that?
So I went online to try to find other movies of its ilk after I went through everything Screambox had, which was a good like 4 or 5 movies.
Yeah.
And apparently, like the closest thing I could find to a genre is group isolation.
Interesting.
Yeah. Which that was just like it was like 15 group isolation movies that you should watch. And I was like, okay, cool.
That's great. I love that there's a list.
You should play that. What's that game in town where you can go and like?
Oh yeah.
Oh, Breakout.
Yeah. Have you played Breakout?
I have not, but I've seen.
It sounds like it's right up your
cool.
alley.
No, yeah, you're right.
Sounds cool.
Group isolation.
It's not like scary, right? It's like just
it'll
puzzle.
You'll fill your drawers.
They're actually going to come and kill you at the end if you don't get out. Luckily, all my Facebook friends have gotten out, so it hasn't been a problem for them.
It's been good so far. But it's not. I mean, there's not a horror element to that, is there? It's just like a puzzle kind of thing.
It's just for fun.
Yeah.
It's for fun.
Although this sort of changes the subject, but not really. Have you guys read about these extreme quote unquote haunted houses? Like ones that I've heard them described as abduction simulators.
Oh,
have you heard of those?
Ooh, that does not sound fun.
No, it does not. Right at all. There's one called so I can't take like intense horror movies, especially ones that are not about like ghosts or demons or something
about stuff that could actually
about
happen.
Things that can really happen. I can't take those, and so I don't ever watch torture-y movies or anything like that. Or abduction-y movies or whatever, but I get really interested in them, and so I read the synopses and like spoilers.
Oh yeah,
just to kind of know what happens, so that because I'm interested still. But I found somehow these quote-unquote extreme haunted houses, and I feel like Joe, you've heard of some of them, but there's one called Blackout in New York.
Yeah, is it the one where like if you make it up to the top floor, like people don't make it up to the top floor?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember. But they're
you can stay hours in there.
Yeah, so Blackout is one where there's a safe word. In case it's too much, you can say this word and they'll pull you out. But you go through by yourself.
Oh,
and it lasts, I think, like 30 to 50 minutes, something like that. But the one that sounds awful and is worth it will haunt your dreams, and you should go read about it, is called, I think it's McCamey Manor. I think it was in this dude's backyard. He built these things onto his house, and he has people do it. And it's like just extreme. Like they're allowed to touch you, slap you, anything that like you sign a waiver that says what. You don't even show up to the house. You go to this other place. You go to this park, and they abduct you.
Wow!
After you've already gone through the screening process, and he does it under the not the guise. What's the word? He does it for sort of this animal charity. So it was free to do.
Okay,
it was free, but you had to bring like animal food or something, like canned food or something like that. I forget.
Like a really weirdly specific serial killer.
Really strange. And he has people who help him and stuff like that. But it's like it can last up to like 4 to 7 hours.
Whoa.
And stuff like that. It's the craziest thing. And people are like arguing about whether it's legal.
Yeah, what kind of stuff happens in there?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to... He goes back and forth. I was looking up interviews. I spent way too long looking into this. And so like... He says stuff like, oh, it's kind of all smoke and mirrors. He's like, I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to give away what it is. You know, I want the mystery so that people are afraid and stuff like that. But then everything I've read, like there was a woman trying to sue him for like like, you know, not because she thought she was gonna die or something like that.
Jeez.
But apparently it just gets real immediately as soon as it starts. And some people, like the haunted house people, are kind of upset about it. Like some of them are people who are really into it because they're like, this is not a haunted house. This is just like you've signed a waiver for abuse essentially, and you're gonna go through it.
Right.
And so it's super interesting.
Good Lord.
I want to know everything.
I know, right? I did too. I was looking for like people who have. I was looking for AMAs on Reddit, like Ask Me Anything, of like people who had been through it and stuff, and I couldn't find anybody who would talk about it that much. But like
They're just too scarred.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But like one of the things is a lot of the volunteers who work for him are old like people who have gone through it. Are people who have done it before, and then they come to work for him. And so
it's like weird.
It's very
it is
weird.
weird.
So it's weird stuff.
The thing that made it the thing that pushed it over the edge in terms of weirdness for me is I mean, they can do crazy stuff. They can put your head in like a cage. You see scenes of it. You can pull it up and we can watch little scenes of it. Because he puts up these clips to like scare. They'll put you in a freezer for like however long, and they'll like do all this physical stuff, like yell at you and put you in isolation and all this craziness. But the thing that really pushed it over the edge for me was apparently the guy who runs it, McCamey, whatever his name is, he doesn't like cursing. And so if you curse, he goes even harder on you.
What?
Isn't that just
that
makes it
sounds
like ugh, and there's nothing, they don't do anything like Blackout.
That makes him like just
that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like
weird.
Blackout has some apparently scenes or rooms or whatever in it that are like of a sexual nature. Like they mess with like sexuality to make it weird. Not like rapey stuff, but just like, you know, they have sexual imagery and stuff like it's more like a mix between a haunted house and performance art and this kind of weird you know, New York-y vibe. There's nothing sexual in the McCamey guy's thing.
I mean, that's good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's good, but it almost seems like a puritanical, like, he doesn't like it if you curse. He doesn't like, it just seems so awful.
he just wants you to suffer.
It just seems awful. It seems like, how are you fine with all this horrible violence, but you don't want people to curse?
Yeah.
It just seems... That just drives
So, like,
it. So,
what if you're at that park just enjoying a day and you see someone get abducted, like they're doing this, you know, thing?
Yeah.
Like,
actually, that happened once. I was reading about it. The cops got called on him because he did that.
Yeah.
And then the cops got there and they knocked or whatever, and the person who was in there was like in the thing. And so, but the guy wasn't busy, and so he came out and he was talking to the cops, and the cops were like, "Oh, it's you that did it." Whatever. They were like, "Oh, okay, whatever. Like, we would like to do it too." And stuff like that. And so you have to go through this like vetting process. Like, he doesn't take everybody.
Wow.
He takes like 2 people per weekend during the season. And it's like, you have to really try to do it. And he like tries to dissuade you. And so like, if you get in, like, you're in.
Dude, I have to know.
You have to know,
What the
right?
heck?
Isn't that the most intriguing thing ever?
That's awful.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how we hadn't talked about it. It's terrible, but it's super interesting. So
really
you're welcome, listeners. You'll be Googling that for 4 hours probably. But
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say like some of those haunted houses, like you have to sign a waiver, and like if you make it to the top, like the top floor, like that you win something, or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But like they can get in your face, and they can tie you up and all that stuff.
Sure.
It's like, that just sounds.
That sounds horrible. Like, I have no desire.
No, like, I like scary stuff a lot, but I haven't been in a haunted house since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
It was like one of those garbage haunted houses where just like puppet arms came out of the wall and touched you on the shoulder, and I just flipped my shit. But like, scary movies and stuff I'm down for.
Dude, you should, if you ever get the chance, you should go down to Orlando. And do Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Oh, yeah?
During the season. It's so much fun. It's like, there are like 6 or 8 different haunted houses you can go to that are set up throughout the park, but the rest of the park are scare zones.
Oh,
so they're like just haunted houses or haunted sections that you walk through, and each scare zone has a different genre. Like, one of them was post-apocalyptic, and like there are people walking around acting, and like they can kind of get up in your face. They can't, technically can't touch you or anything like that.
Right.
But Tiff and I went, and it was like super like It was a lot of fun, but when we were building up our courage to go,
Yeah.
like we built it up to be this big thing.
Yeah.
But we had like the time of our lives.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know. It was like the Disney or Universal version of like Halloween.
I was going to say, it sounds
great.
like the exact opposite of what I was just talking about. It sounds like a great time.
It was so good. It was so fun. Yeah.
So,
And then we went and ate ice cream.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
sweet.
that's a happy ending.
Whereas people that get done with the one dude's manor go
Yeah.
home and cry in the
They
shower.
they don't need ice cream
Exactly.
anymore.
No.
No. There's
don't.
no need
There's
for
there's
ice
a room
cream.
in there that you just can't eat it anymore.
No more ice cream. Yeah, exactly. So you can Eric, you can deal with like whatever horror movie. Or is there a type of horror movie that you're like, no, I can't go there?
No,
Or
I mean,
you're pretty much good.
I none of them really bother me.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously genres and stuff that I like more than others.
Sure, yeah.
Like the ones that are just like, I don't know, like slashers are fun for a little bit,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
eventually it's like, okay, Jason's, fighting Freddy on it. This is dumb. Why are we? This is weird.
Yeah.
Or like Jason's in space. Why?
Right.
But no, like I like the ones that kind of fuck with your head, like the ones where the people are trapped in a room together, or
Yeah.
every now and then like the ones with like ghost stories and monsters and stuff like that. But I don't know. I really like, we talked about it last time, I really like Scream, which goes against the whole slasher thing, but that's more
Totally.
of its own world.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's aware of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Have you gotten into any of the like super gnarly, like the top 5 movies that will
Hardest to watch kind
hardest
of
to
movies?
watch kind of movies? Like what's the one called?
It's a.
I don't know.
Uh,
There's one called Audition that's apparently pretty rough.
I've not watched.
no, not that one.
Yeah. You've heard of it though?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
like the one that everyone says? Yeah, if you watch this, then you're
There's Green Inferno that just came out.
no.
Is
not
that,
They
one.
like 8 people.
Is
in
that Eli
one.
Roth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that based? That's based on what? Cannibal Holocaust, right? Something like that.
Cannibal Holocaust? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Cannibal
No.
Holocaust is I think a movie that's like older. It's like 70s
That's
or 80s.
an older movie.
Yeah.
But Green Inferno is like group of white people crashes in the jungles of some place, and the indigenous tribe eats them.
Which like it seems like you can make that in like the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
But at this point it's like, really, can you make group of white people crash somewhere and
Yeah.
these scary foreigners?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But there's
There might be some problems with that.
Here's the interesting thing about that movie. I haven't
Wait,
seen
which
that
one?
movie, Green Inferno.
Okay.
I haven't seen it. I don't know if that I'll watch it. But I do like behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And so when they filmed that movie, they showed up. They did like a few weeks of like pre-production, or they sent somebody down to like scout the area.
Yeah.
And it was like the people that were in the movie were actually people of that area.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they weren't actors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they sent someone down there to basically say, this is what we want to do. We want to make this movie. And they're like, what's a movie?
Yeah.
And so they show the gnarliest movie. I think it was Cannibal Holocaust. They say, we
Yeah.
want to do something.
The old yeah.
Yeah, we want to make a movie kind of like this.
Yeah.
They watch it and they just laugh and laugh. They're just like,
Oh.
they're so intrigued by this thing. Like
Yeah.
to them, it's not like reality at all.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh,
funny.
okay,
It's
yeah.
totally fake, yeah.
somehow it like triggers their sense of humor. So
Interesting.
they're like, yes, please come here and make one of those. We'll be
Sure.
in your movie. And before one of there's a woman or something that was there, like a PR person. And as she was leaving, they gave her a child.
What?
And she had to turn down the offer of this child. And like it was like one of those things where like, oh, this is like a really gnarly insult to like not take this
Right.
child with me.
Right.
But then they go back to
Jeez.
film this movie, and they're filming this movie, and these missionaries show up, and they're like there to convert the tribe to Christianity or whatever.
Right.
And they see all these like body parts and like
Oh.
stuff like that, and it's like
Yeah.
like they
and
like
they think it's real.
they have to stop filming for a while to say, listen, you can come back when we're done, but like we got here first.
Right.
We're making this terrible movie.
Yeah.
And, like
Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
it's super interesting.
Is that the one though? Cannibal Holocaust is the movie?
No, the movie is Green Inferno. That was Eli Roth's movie.
The story you just told was about Eli Roth's movie.
They showed Cannibal Holocaust to the people.
Oh, I see.
To say this is a movie and this is what we want to make.
Did you say you had seen Green Inferno?
No, I have not. I just know you guys were talking about like what's the really bad one that apparently freaks you out.
Yeah.
Which I don't like torture porn movies.
That's,
that's because at that point it's like it's not scary. It's more just like cringe.
Yes.
Like okay, they cut off that dude's heel and did weird that's like
it's like
it's not scary. It's
more medical.
Yeah, right.
It's just more awful.
That's what the inside of a person looks like.
Yeah.
No, I can't do those movies.
I can't do those either.
But apparently I'm intrigued enough by them to read about them.
That's the thing. Yeah, I'll spoil them for myself all day long. Like movies that I know I'm never going to watch, I'll go on like moviespoiler.com or whatever it is.
Sure.
And look up just all the plot points and stuff like that. I don't know why.
Well, that way you can be culturally relevant.
Yeah, right.
Make
exactly.
references and whatnot.
Exactly. I do the same thing with Lars von Trier movies. Have you guys watched any of those? No.
No.
Do you know what they are? You guys are aware? Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I watched, the only one I watched was Melancholia, and I really liked it.
Oh, I liked Melancholia.
I didn't know that was a Lars von Trier.
I didn't realize that was him either, actually.
Yep, that was him. And now that you realize it, you can think back on it and probably understand how it fits into his whole shtick. But, because, I mean, it's all about, spoilers, everybody, for Melancholia. Unplug now if you don't want to hear.
It's so good. It'll leave you feeling
You've seen
really...
it, Eric?
No, but you can spoil it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's just about the end of everything, essentially.
My dad told me to watch it. He's like, you got to watch this movie. It'll leave you feeling weird.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But, yeah, he did...
it's a movie about the end of the world, though.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The end of everything.
It's this but it's super character driven. It's like it zooms in on this small group of people and like this asteroid that passes them, and they're like, "Is this the end? Are we all going to die?" And it passes, and everyone like cheers and celebrates, and like. But the story's about this woman. It's Kirsten Dunst. Her getting married, and just not being happy or content, and like kind of running away from it.
Yeah.
But then the asteroid comes back around.
Yeah.
And it's so strange.
I mean, the movie's it's about depression.
Yeah, spoilers. The last scene, if I remember correctly, I've only seen it the one time, but it's Kirsten Dunst's character and her sister. And her sister has a family. And at the very end, when they finally realize this asteroid's coming back around, it's like doing the slingshot thing. It's going to come back to the Earth. Yeah. The husband leaves her sister's husband is a coward and leaves the family and kills himself. And so it's her sister, her sister's children, and her left. So at the very end, they're sitting on this hill or something, and they're like holding hands and closing their eyes, waiting. And then you just see this asteroid come in, and then it just cuts to black. Like it's
intense,
but it's really good. It's like.
That doesn't sound like what his other movies
Have you seen his other movies? Some of his other movies?
I saw a little bit of Antichrist before I stopped.
That was the one that I couldn't. I heard about and knew I couldn't watch.
I was just like, this is weird. And what was that one with Shia LaBeouf that he just
Nymphomaniac?
Nymphomaniac. Yeah, that one. I didn't
Volume
watch
1 and 2. I've heard about plot points.
I read about all these movies because I was super interested in them, but I'm never going to watch them.
Yeah,
I just can't. I know I can't handle them, but
yeah.
But yeah,
I don't like Shia LaBeouf. Did you guys see that he did the thing recently where
funny. We just talked about it on our last
episode. Oh, did you?
Yeah, about his watching all his movies.
Super strange. It's super interesting.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that guy.
Right.
That's funny. That's kind of what we talked about.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
And
how do you feel about
what
him?
we decided was we don't know how to feel about him, but there's just something about him that you can't help but kind of like.
Well, it's I can't wait to see what he does next.
Yeah.
Well, he's become more than an actor. He's become like a sort of performance artist, in a weird way. Which is kind of cool. I mean,
and whenever if there's video of him just giggling watching Even Stevens movie, you can't help but find that super enduring.
Yeah.
But
for sure. Oh, so one thing I wanted to ask you about, Eric, while you're here is I hadn't got a chance to listen to the new Bagged and Bearded episode about Jessica Jones.
Oh yeah.
But I was wondering, since it's coming out tomorrow as we're recording this.
Oh wow!
Friday.
Yeah,
oh jeez.
Friday the 20th.
Woo! Right? I am off tomorrow. I know what I'm doing.
There you go. I was wondering if you could give us a little, just a taste of what Jessica Jones is about, since you've been steeped in that world or talking about
so
it.
it comes out in like...
It comes out soon, man.
Two and a half
like
2
a couple hours. Yeah.
Oh,
it comes out like 2 hours, man. Isn't that crazy?
That's
guys,
wild. We've
let's
been waiting
just
for this.
throw on our PJs.
Let's just
wait it out.
Yeah, just
Totally.
Just-
Like, I'm all about it.
Turn it on.
Yeah. Keep this podcast going right up till it starts.
Yeah.
And then just cut it off.
No, so I'm probably not the best person to ask about Jessica Jones.
Yeah. Fair
Like
enough.
basically, I could tell you what Steven told us on the podcast because that's kind of I never really cared much about Jessica Jones or knew much about her other than that she was married to Luke Cage at one point. But then they announced the show, and I just kind of consciously decided to not go back and read because
that's right.
it's like the one thing that I haven't experienced.
I feel like I've heard you say that.
Yeah. So like Daredevil I've known about forever and
Yeah.
like all the other heroes. So I was like, I'm just gonna go in and see what Jessica Jones is
just
all
go in
about via the
fresh.
show.
Yeah.
But then obviously we did the episode, so I learned quite a bit from that.
Yeah.
But no, so it's actually pretty cool. She's like she used to be a superhero, and then I forget what happens, but somehow or another she stops being a superhero and just opens a detective agency
Oh, cool.
and starts
And that's
solving
the
crimes and
Alias
stuff.
investigations
Yeah,
or whatever.
And that seems to play really well
cool.
into the Netflix world that they're building of
Yeah.
this street level
man.
kind of like stuff that Iron Man doesn't have time for kind
Right.
of thing. you
Yeah.
know?
And from what I've heard and read online, they're saying that it's darker than Daredevil.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
I heard the first episode opens up with like a full-on sex scene.
Whew.
Huh.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, I think
Coming at you.
I think I read
Netflix.
somewhere that the only thing Marvel said they couldn't do was show nudity or
Yeah.
drop F-bombs, I think.
Yeah.
And other than that, they've got free reign. So, like, they
Wow.
can still have sex. They just can't show anything,
Huh.
really. But, yeah,
Yeah.
Interesting.
it's it'll be cool. 'cause
That show will be cool, though. Yeah.
Daredevil was easily the darkest part of the MC universe.
Absolutely.
and
Totally.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Dude,
Totally.
and let me say, it is about time that you have a female lead in something
yeah.
that Marvel is doing.
Right.
Because, I mean...
I
yeah.
mean, they've
done so much.
They've got Captain Marvel coming out, right?
Right. They've got
Yeah.
that coming
Sometime
out.
soon.
Yeah.
And then I think...
So-
And Black Widow's there, and she's awesome, but she doesn't have her own thing.
Right.
Yeah.
So this will be good.
It will be.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
excited about it,
excited.
and especially with David Tennant in it, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
That'll be
being
fun.
being a bad guy.
Yeah, definitely.
And,
Dude,
you're gonna. Oh, never mind. I was gonna say you're gonna have Punisher, but that's Daredevil season 2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So here,
No,
the word
no.
on the street that I've heard is that Iron Fist, they're going back, and so the original 4 Netflix shows were supposed to be Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if this is just rumor or not, but I hear that they're taking Iron Fist, making Iron Fist a feature, the first Netflix feature, and then replacing the show with a Punisher show.
Yeah, I've heard a bunch of different things. Like I'd heard them say that they're not doing Iron Fist show; they're going to do a Moon Knight show.
Really?
And they're going to do an Iron Fist movie. But then I think it was like yesterday. I was watching some interview with Joe Quesada from Marvel.
Yeah.
And he basically said, like, he pretty much said Iron Fist is in production, and just because someone writes something on the internet doesn't make it true. So, like, the impression that he kind of gave is that the Iron Fist show is still happening. Like, he didn't
Okay.
explicitly say that, but he
It's
also
still-
kind of, yeah. So, I don't know.
But at the same time, like, we're in such a weird age where, like, stuff just happens quickly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like, I mean, we have the technology to where if they wanted to go out and shoot a Punisher show
Right.
next week
Yeah, they totally
and then do the
could.
post-production on it the week after,
Yeah.
if they hustled, they could do that.
Right.
And then put it on the internet. You know what I mean?
It's true. Oh, I mean, yeah, like, they weren't planning on doing a Daredevil season 2 originally, and now that's coming out next year.
Yeah, it's coming
So-
out, probably, May or something like that.
I'd imagine, yeah, something like that.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's weird to me to be in a world now to where we see our voice as critics, like, being heard,
Right.
and that can be a good thing and a bad thing. Like,
Right.
I don't know if you watch Arrow or not.
I'm not current on it.
Okay, but Arrow season 3, the second half of season 3, I feel like the writers listened to the fans.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it kind of wrecked the ship a little bit because they didn't do. I don't feel like they were doing what was best for the show.
Sure.
I guess. So it can be a I don't know.
Talking about listening to the fans.
Yeah.
I just left the room for a second, everybody. I was trying to hide it, but then I couldn't when I got back.
Yeah, you're like step
I'm
back
wait,
into the conversation.
What are you talking about?
I was closing my ears.
Yeah.
We're talking
That's
about
what I
our
was
favorite
doing.
Spice Girls.
Right.
Well, no, Eric
Still posh.
He
Still
just
Bosch.
said that word on the street is that Joe Quesada said Iron Fist is in production, so don't listen to what you hear on the
Oh,
internet.
interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so,
yeah, I hadn't
like-
heard that.
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know.
Well, that'll be super sweet, though, if they do it. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know that much about Iron Fist either.
Yeah, I don't know a ton. Like, I know more about him than I do Jessica Jones, but not a ton.
Yeah. I've been meaning to buy the Ed Brubaker run on Iron Fist, but haven't gotten it.
Oh, yeah,
So-
that'd be a weird place to start
Be a
for
good
you.
way to get
'cause-
in, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed Brubaker.
Because of my Brubaker love. That's mostly why.
He's a good boy.
So,
Yeah, he is a good boy. So solid boy.
Oh,
Cool. Yeah, we
man.
just hit an hour. So
hit an hour. All right. Well,
is there anything?
maybe we should
hour
go.
and 3 minutes
Maybe
or
we
so?
should go and prep for Jessica Jones, right?
Yeah,
I mean, maybe
okay,
that's a
get
good
ready.
idea.
Make some
totally.
snacks.
Eric, you want to push some stuff, man? Push some things.
Yeah. So you can listen to other podcasts on the DNN.
Yeah, you can.
Like Nerdstalgia, which is the one I'm on, and also Bagged and Bearded, which is the other one I'm on. I'm going to push Bagged and Bearded, though, because I'm sure Brian, I heard him mention Nerdstalgia a lot.
Show
when he was on.
to listen to.
It's like, dude, like, I heard that rap when I was driving, and, like, I almost wrecked, and I was like, no, I am not going to die and have this be the soundtrack to my
Yep.
death.
Yep.
Like, this is...
Oh,
So,
God.
needless to say, you just turned the episode off. When
Yeah.
you have to understand, he was sitting almost where you were,
Yeah.
just over a little bit.
Yeah.
He stood up and took his mic
Took
off
the
the
mic
stand.
off the
Oh, I could
stand.
visualize it perfectly in my
Yep.
head. I was like, oh, this is Brian being Brian. But no, yeah, listen to Bagged and Bearded, talk about
Yeah.
comic book stuff. And Nerdstalgia, we talk about other stuff too that sometimes isn't Brian. So, good times.
Yeah, I think at this point our listeners have a really good idea of who
Yeah.
and what Brian is.
Right. I think that's
So,
important.
If you like whatever that is, listen to
Yeah.
pick
Yeah,
up
for
pick up
sure.
the
Give Nerdstalgia a listen.
um,
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I have a Twitter that I post random stupid pictures on. Not my pictures that I make, but just like things I find funny on
nice.
the internet.
Yeah.
So that's Eric Gravley, which is
Nice.
because Brian doesn't know how to pronounce my name, and he always
He
calls
says
me Groovely. So
Groovely.
that's it.
That's like the one way that like you just couldn't even pretend to mess up.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
the one
yeah.
way it's definitely not pronounced.
It's an A.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet. And then they can come see you at the destination. I tried to do the destination thing
yeah.
and I didn't really try, but I was like, how did I do it?
Destination.
Across from D's Crafts, behind D's Crafts.
Yeah,
Not across from. It's
you
behind
can
it.
come to the destination at 5031 Shelbyville Road, Louisville, Kentucky, 4027 in the Best Buy Shopping Center behind D's Crafts, and
There you go.
get your comic books and stuff.
Yeah.
I actually had somebody the other day. He came in and he was like, "So this is awkward, but are you Eric?" And I was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, I listen to Nerdstalgia and Girl Gone Geek and all those things." I was like, "Oh, awesome!"
Nice.
So that was a fun little thing.
That's cool. Yeah.
He's like, I know who you are because I can hear you.
Yeah.
I think I knew your voice more from podcasts than real life at first.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. I think that's
Sweet.
accurate.
That's the
Yeah.
goal.
At
I think
first.
so.
I mean, not anymore, but at first.
That's how you get to know people in this part of town.
That's right.
Listen to their podcast.
Listen to their podcast.
just-
and then,
Creepily, like,
That's
yeah,
right.
listen in and like pretend that like you're friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like you know all sorts of stuff about their life, even though
Exactly.
you've never met them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So-
just meet them. Oh, it's like that time you and reference something about their past.
That still is true
So.
for me. For some people, like that are involved, like in the stuff I work on, like some of the bagged and board people, like I scored episode 4, but I've never officially met what's his name, Sean Smith.
Oh, really?
I've never met the dude.
Gotcha.
Right, yeah.
And but I've heard him so many times on shows and like
Sure.
Well-
episodes. I'm like, I kind of know that guy.
I feel like
roast and
that.
stuff.
I feel like that partially also with all the comedy shows that especially we've been going
Yeah.
to. It's like I know exactly who that person is. I expect they have no idea who I am, but
Yeah,
you know what
they
I'm saying.
have no idea.
So I haven't met them.
You guys
or
should get Sean Smith in here. He is fun on a podcast.
Yeah, we definitely
Totally.
should. We definitely should hit him up.
Yeah,
So.
we had Patrick on. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to that one.
You know, I had
they
never
talked about their dick problems.
Yeah, I had
That's the
met
thing.
Patrick really briefly, maybe at the Bardstown at some point, but I had never really talked to him before we did that thing.
No, I had never talked to him at all, and he just came in and did the
Came
thing.
in,
So.
Yeah,
It's cool.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, good boy.
Another good boy.
Oh man.
A lot of good boys.
Lots of good boys.
Well, this is good. We decided we're going to switch up our sign off, and we don't know what we're switching it to
Oh
yet.
man,
So
I was all ready to tell y'all that you did good.
Nice.
I appreciate it.
Well, we'll stick with it for now.
We'll stick with it for now. You know what? You done good, Joe.
You done good, Eric.
You done good, Will.
Y'all done good too, listening out there. Everybody done good. Thanks for being here, Eric. We appreciate it, man.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Have fun.
Thank you for listening, DNN.